Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the Freshly Baked collection from Close to My Heart. This is an older collection, so it's no longer available. However, I do think the stamps and the thin cuts, last I looked, that I'm going to be using in this layout, when I looked last time, they were still available, and they are probably on sale this month. So definitely check that out. Close to My Heart is having a stamp-tacular sale where most of the stamps and or thin cuts are on sale. So the Freshly Baked collection is kind of like a Christmas cookie collection. However, I have some photos from I guess, baking experience with my youngest from like spring of 2020 when we were quarantined. And so I used this layout completely for a non-Christmas layout. So I am going to be using a border. You can see that I gutted that paper just because I like to use the insides for backing my photos. And then there's this cookie paper here that I'm going to utilize. I kind of stick with a simple color scheme, and that is what you see on the paper here now. I do add in a couple of other colors, but not a lot of them. So I am going to place the cookie paper directly in the middle here, and then I'm gonna continue on and layer some other papers over top of that. So this is the other kind of paper. This I'm going to be using, again, the same color, but it kind of looks like a cookie sheet or I'm going to say a drying rack, I guess. That makes me think of laundry, not cookies or baking. Baking rack, I don't know. You can tell I don't bake very often. I don't believe I have the papers the same size. If I'm looking at it, that cookie paper looks a little bit longer on page 2, maybe? Maybe they are the same size. I can't actually tell right now. If not, it just is what it is. Sometimes I will kind of make one side longer than the other, one page. But this one does look pretty similar. So these photos, my youngest helped me make some chocolate chip cookies, and I don't know if I let him pour the chocolate chips in or what happened. I don't actually recall, but then all of a sudden, all of the chocolate chips were on the floor or all over the counter, not in the bowl. So I obviously had to document that. He also has chocolate all over his hands, all over his mouth. Just a fun memory from 2020, to be quite honest. I feel like we kind of had to make our own fun during that tough time. And so this was definitely one way we did that. I did kind of try to bake a little bit more. Sometimes I involved the kids. Sometimes I FaceTime my dad, and we baked together over FaceTime. But just definitely wanted to document those memories, and I have already some of the baking with my dad. I've documented some of that. We did bread, we did bagels, we did cinnamon rolls. So just a lot of fun to have those memories documented to go back and look at, especially, when it's the kids. The kids were young enough that they may not remember it, and so it just is fun, part of why we scrapbook, right? To have memories for our kids or grandkids even to look back on and enjoy. So I did use the stamp and the thin cut. So one cute cookie, I did fussy cut that out. That is kind of going to be a subtitle, I guess. And then the baking rack is what I guess I'll call it. I used the thin cut and cut that out on that craft paper to bring some of that in from the cookie paper. Did bring in that yellow, I believe it's honey butter, and decided, I need some more colors, I guess. The embellishments were different colors, had some of that red and pink and yellow in them. So I wanted to bring some of that in so the embellishments didn't look out of place. So I decided to bring in this stripe paper and make it look like it goes all the way across. You can see I'm kind of just cutting it to what I need, and then placing it there just to save for another layout. So I'm going to do that and not go all the way across because I do have that cookie cutter there. So it stops, I guess, kind of behind. And then off the sticker sheet, I'm going to use the title Baking Memories. And I thought that was just perfect because it has nothing to do with Christmas, but you can see that the memories is red. And that's part of why I wanted to bring in that striped paper, bring in some of that red there. So I do wish, looking back, that I had that title over to the left a little bit more. I kind of have it down in the bottom corner, and then it leaves a big open space. And so I do wish I would have moved that to the left just a little bit more, but the stickers are very sticky and I was unable to move them. I did add a border sticker, that brown kind of loop makes it look like icing. I added that across the white of the striped paper. Really like the way that looks as well. Broke up that white a little bit. And now just finished embellishing. I tried to use as many of the cookie kind of non-Christmassy stickers that I could. So on the left I have a plate of cookies that is hidden by the sticker sheet now, and the milk, and then I did add obviously some cookies on the cookie sheet or the baking rack. I don't know. And then some of those phrase stickers, I just felt like that really helped that cluster on the right. It is quite a large cluster with the phrase stickers at the bottom, but I do like the way that looked, and did just kind of scatter those chocolate chip cookies throughout, one kind of in each cluster, and then obviously on the baking rack, and then have the enamel shapes from the collection as well. So I'm going to sprinkle those in just the two clusters, but then that bottom right down there, or bottom left of page 2, was kind of open, and so I decided to get my journaling strips out. These are from Close to My Heart as well, and they're stickers. You can cut them to the size that you want, which I think is amazing. I love these. It just gives you a good space for journaling. So I am going to journal down there, but wanted to spruce that up a little bit too. So I used the oven mitt and more of the enamel shapes, and that is going to finish out the layout. So definitely look at the Stamptacular sale from Close to My Heart to get your hands on some great deals. And again, last time I looked, the baking sheet, baking rack was still available with the stamps and the thin cut. So definitely look for that if you are interested. And I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.